Hello guys, this is AOG Gaming here, back with a new series actually. Um, I'm still gonna do videos. Sorry for no gameplay or beacon map videos today for Adventure Time. I'm gonna start doing a series on lore, so you guys can just see this. I think I've shown enough beacon maps and you guys have seen the beacon maps, but I'll still be doing them if you guys want me to. Um, just comment down below. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, or just here watching, please like and subscribe. Really helps me out and the channel. I'm gonna go straight into my new series. So the lore I'm talking about is first synth. We're gonna go through every trinket, but I think I'm gonna do Finn's swords first. So we're gonna do all the swords first as well, but we're starting with Finn's swords because they're amazing. If you guys are wondering where I'm getting this information, adventuretime.fandom.com. I just looked up the swords, but yeah. We're gonna do Scarlet first, but I'll show you guys the rest of them. So this sword is pretty significant. It's the first sword Finn has. It's not the first sword we see because the logo has a sword in it, and Finn actually uses that sword. We'll talk about it later. Um, but this is the sword that he has for most of the beginning of season 1, I believe, and a little bit of season 2 as well. So let's go into the lore. So the golden sword of battle, also known as Scarlet, as you can see by the name here and in the show, in Finn's weapon of choice throughout most of the seasons 1 and 2. The blade is dented, chipped, and dirty, of course. It doesn't really show it here, except for like maybe a small chip or two there. It doesn't look like it's sharp as heck, but it doesn't look as chipped as it does in the show. In one of the So it has a gemstone at the bottom, as you guys can see. It's wrapped in leather for the handle. I don't know what metal it's made out of. Golden sword of battle. Okay, I guess. I think that's what he just named it. It appears in business time. Or no, it doesn't appear in business time. But in the episode Business Time, the sword gets sharpened by the businessmen, another ally in common ally in the game. And then he loses it, or no, he doesn't lose it, but he passes it through a bubble creator, which is like a creator that creates bubbles in different dimensions. And in this was in the episode Real You. I'm not gonna look up the episodes themselves because that would take a really long time, and maybe I'll do a list of them next time and just go quickly. And now we have that once it went through the bubble creator, coming back to the episode in the Real You, he used his sword and he passed it through the bubble creator. And it was a 4D golden sword after that, like a black hole sword. Um, and he attacks the black hole because he accidentally makes a black hole. Black hole is another epic sword in this game. So it's one of Finn's swords and he gets it pretty early. But only for a second because he creates a black hole by slicing the air, and then he has to basically strike it with his sword, and then, somehow with enough force create a double event horizon explosion of equal magnitudes that can make both black holes disappear, even though they're not the same shape, size, or mass. But whatever, we're not relying on physics here. Pierce is okay. This is an okay uncommon weapon. You can get it through the adventure pack, I believe. Yeah, it's okay. It has 2 Piers until 3 stars, so that's what makes it kind of bad. But for level 1 and 2, especially for your characters, this is good. Until you get better swords, of course. So And the mystery train. Okay, so next sword. We're moving on to the next sword. This is probably going to be one or two swords. I have to explain everything to you guys. For root sword. It's not here. It's the rare. That's right here. So root sword. In the mystery train, he obtains the root sword. I believe it's the Infinity Train episode, not Mystery Train. Okay, whatever. It's his primary weapon in the Mystery Train episode. He used it to attack the caboose and the conductor because they were sus. You guys should watch that video. It was hilarious. Um, and then he uses it in against a monster on episode Belly of the Beast. Um, it's seen briefly in the episode Mortal Recoil. Finn throws the sword at Ice King on the episode Conquest of Cuteness. And in the episode Jake versus Meow. So he throws it twice at Ice King. After he breaks the Finn sword, he uses it in the episode Normal Man and in the episode Elemental. But these are like the comic stuff, but it was also for those episodes. Blood Demon Sword is the next sword that we have. So I'm gonna come to it real quick. That one was pretty fast. I mean, it's an uncommon, so there's not much to talk about it. It's good on Finn. It's good on PB. It's just Pierce. And the game specifically, it was actually pretty. The weapons are pretty strong in the show. Like they're way stronger than they are in this game. But yeah, it's just funny. Except for some of them, the Moab is probably the most accurate one. The Demon Blood Sword, or simply known as the Demon Sword, appears in the episode Dad's Dungeon. I think that's Marceline's dad. Maybe. He replaces the sword, his root sword, and they go to Joshua's dungeon to retrieve the family sword. And then he finds the demon sword encased in stone and locks. And then he breaks it. And he fights the final monster of the dungeon. The demon blood sword is infused with demon blood, which causes Keoth to sporadically appear and plead to Joshua. Oh, I remember this sword. This was a hilarious episode. So we meet Jake's dad. I think for one of the first times. And this sword, Jake's dad is like a goat. Like he don't give up. He like does whatever he wants and he's gonna say what he wants. And if you don't listen to him, he's gonna teach you a lesson. And oh my goodness, he's scary. He has the same powers as Jake, but he doesn't really use them because he just has like superhuman strength or something. But he takes this sword, and he summons the demon Keoth in the show. In the episode Keoth Rama Pancake. Return to the Nightosphere is written on the handle. That's what the little hieroglyphs are, but you can't see it because not hieroglyphs, but they look like Norse letters. But you can't see it in the game because the quality of it is low. The sword has immunity to Marceline's blood. Interesting. Because vampires are considered demons in the show. There's photos of Finn on Jake's phone of Jake holding this sword. That's pretty cool. He uses it to kill one of the heads of the dead one. I don't remember that. He used it to save Lumpy Space Princess from Mirfins. I kind of do remember that. It's in the Lumpy Space Forest, I believe. or a mystery forest. They get lost and they find crystals, and he saves Lumpy Space Princess. I think that's at the beginning, actually, right before he meets her, maybe. Um, it's fire immune. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is how strong it is in the show, guys. So the swords are just gonna scale up from here. By the way, this is a very in-depth analysis of the sword. Um, he broke it on Playdate, and then he released the blood inside, and he duplicated the sword after it broke from frozen grape juice. He made a. Oh, I do remember that. He was licking the sword. That was kind of weird. But no. um, Blessed by Shelby. Interesting. So I think that's what made it in this. I don't remember that. I don't know who Shelby is. I don't think she's an ally. But yeah, see, they didn't include that character in the game, really. Ninja Kiwi, Shelby, um, or Jake's parents. Like what? You included Finn's dad and the King of Ooh. Whatever. He tricks Keoth into killing himself because the demon comes out of the sword once it's unbound. Once the demon sword broke. Yeah, in game, the damage is pretty good. It's better when it's paired with the demon heart, but that can only be equipped to Marceline and Finn and Dungeon Finn, I believe. So it's okay in the game. It's better on Marceline because I believe it multiplies the effect. Oh no, sorry, it can't be equipped to Marceline. Only the demon hearts can be. I think it's better on Marceline the demon heart, but the demon blood sword is only really good on Finn. Sometimes Princess Bubblegum. But yeah, 2 damage plus 1 for 4 stars. So I have level 6 Marceline. Sorry, we're not doing Marceline here. Level 6 Dungeon Finn. And it's 2 plus 1 for 4 stars, so 3 damage. And then if you add the Demon Heart Epic Trinket, that is another 4 damage, I believe. So 7 damage. It's okay. For 2 items, it's okay. Next sword that we're gonna go over is the one you can get from the Adventure Pack or the Finn Pack, I believe. One of those 2 in the store. Grass Sword. So we're gonna do, I guess, lore first. So the Grass Sword first appears in the episode Blade of Grass. Comes to replace the broken demon sword. He buys it from the Grassy Wizard. I believe that's an ally. The Grass Wizard. I think in this game, super rare ally. Finn discovers that the sword is cursed. I think it's alive, so it follows him and raps to him. When he accepts the sword, because it's like a pet, he gains control of it, and he can he doesn't need a sheath for it. It like wraps around his arm, I remember, and then it comes back out into like sword form. So it's pretty cool. It's like half armor, half sword, I guess, and it's flexible too, so he can move his arm and everything. He wore it around his arm, and yeah, he could extend it into a sword at his will. Oh yeah, I remember this part. It ripped off Finn's arm, his right arm, because it saved him from the Citadel. Because his father Martin was also a sussy. He was just another crazy person. A lot of people are crazy in the show. And I think he's with the multiverse's worst criminals in that episode. So crazy. His arm grew back in Breezy, so yeah. And it was made of grass hidden under his skin. Oh, that's kind of weird. So it can burst through his arm now and control itself like the grass sword. That's weird. um Oh, and then it took control of another sword called the Fin Sword, another epic sword in this game, also in the show. Um, and it makes the character Fern. Interesting. Not in this. It's not in the game, so that sucks. But you know, Ninja Kiwi being Ninja Kiwi. Speaking of the Fin Sword, um, right before that though, in the game, this super rare weapon, for my fins, it would give me 2% plus 2 stars, so 2 force. I'd get 36% speed, so it's one of the better super rare items, but swords specifically, but it's okay. Anyway, not too much to say on that one, that's why. Seriously? There you go. I was like, well, where am I going? Fin Sword, make an alternate timeline version of Finn, transformed into a sword by cosmic magic. Really cool. 40% speed plus 5 per 2 stars, so 55% speed. This is also one of the better epic swords that you can put on specifically Dungeon Finn, because it makes a double of him, but it also works for Finn, and it just makes a duplicate of him. Better if you upgrade him completely before you use it, but yeah, and speed is pretty straightforward, just more DPS. Going to lore, he tames it in the episode That Is You, replaces it with the grass sword because, you know, it's kind of whack. The sword is created when Finn prevents himself from waking up Jake to save Prismo. Prismo's not in this game, unfortunately. However, it is first seen in the episode Breezy when Finn imagines Princess Bubblegum holding it. It has the spirit version of himself in it. And he uses the sword. His physical attributes, strength, agility, etc. are doubled. Doesn't happen in the game, but okay. He can cut through giant worms, durable. The sword can no longer be used as it combined with the grass sword to make Fern. I talked about that already. Yeah, and it just left, I believe, at the bottom of a tree. It got stuck. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is AOG Gaming. Another video will be released soon, but yeah, tune in, like, and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, and I'll see you guys later.